the heart of Silicon Valley. It's What's Up in the 90s, an entertaining look at people, places, and things, and how they affect you, your family, and your career as we move into the 90s. Now here's your host, Brian Stuckey.
Hello, welcome to What's Up in the 90s. We've got a big celebration here, or at least a potential celebration here for you tonight. We've got a couple people here that represent a couple organizations that are putting on some big New Year's extravaganzas. And we got Barb Schexnayder from, she's representing a group, it's a Christian organization, Bethal Church and Gatos Christian Church are forming a big New Year's party. We've also got David Wolfe here, who's with KICU 36, Channel 36 that is, and he's also the promoter for Odessy 2, which is a huge New Year's party at the Convention Center in downtown San Jose. I want to welcome you guys for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara, let's start with you. I'm going to be real generic about my questions. You know, basically you got a half-hour commercial here, but give us a little background on the event that's taking place over at Bethel Church.
Okay, this is the third annual Bethel's New Year Party. And this time we're getting a real nice band. They're coming from Sparks, Nevada. They like Reno, Nevada better. It sounds better. But they're called Undivided. They're a real nice group. I was listening to their tape on the way over here. And they're excellent. They have a real low-key, very mellow atmosphere, very mellow type of music. It's really good. Yeah.
And what kind of people are you trying to attract to the New Year's party? Anyone
who's interested. We're looking for people who are interested in finding fellowship, finding other friends who are Christians, and that sort of thing.
Okay, but do you have to be of a particular faith or anything like that to join?
Not at all. Anyone's welcome. Anyone off the street who's like I said, interested in some good fellowship, good Christian friends, good non-drinking atmosphere.
Okay. We're going to go back into the event as we go along. I'm sure we'll learn more about it, so looking forward to that. David, with the Odessy 2, last year was Odessy 1.
Correct.
This is Odessy 2, of course. Give us some background about what happened last year, what we can expect this year.
Last year was a first time for Odessy, and I think the results were successful enough, and we accomplished the objectives of Odessy 1 to the point where Odessy 2 became a reality, and at least the planning of it. And shortly, on December 31st, it will culminate in 7 different bands performing, 5 ballrooms. There's so much detail to the event that I have to apologize for having some notes with me, but we have a number of local radio stations in the San Jose South Bay area who are involved, and KICU Television has the honor of being the presenter for the evening as well, which really entails broadcasting on Channel 36 highlights from the evening, that evening on New Year's Eve. Of course, we wouldn't want the broadcast to prevent people from showing up, but we do want to complement what will happen that evening by having some highlights on the air. So there's a number of different things that are involved in it this year. Basically, last year's attendance was in the area of 10,800, and our projected total this year, minimum, will be from all early indications 12,000 plus. We like to think of Odessy as an event that will continue to grow over the years. It was the largest attended New Year's celebration that we're aware of in certainly Northern California last year, surpassing San Francisco events that went on New Year's Eve, and that was certainly very exciting for us. So we're expecting even things to be bigger and better this year. There are more participants, more radio stations participating. Ticket sales have been very exciting so far out of the gate. We've been leading where we were at this time last year. So we're really very, very excited about what's about to happen on New Year's Eve.
Very good. We'll get more details too. I know you got several dance floors and things like that. Both of you, as in promoting your events, what has that been like, Barb? You know, naturally you're not the size of an Odessy 2 here, but what's it been like trying to promote an event, you know, in a Christian event, non-alcohol event like this?
It's been a little difficult. We don't have the same kind of exposure, obviously, that David here does, but we do have Christian bookstores who are hanging our posters up for us, and we're sending them all over the Bay Area. So we're trying to do as much as we can with a limited budget.
And you're on What's Up in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, but what's, particularly, I know you work, you know, this isn't a full-time job for you.
No.
How much energy does it take for you to put this
It takes a lot of energy, an awful lot of energy. I'm spending a lot of time on this. Most of my free time is doing all the planning. And in fact, tonight we have another planning meeting. We have a little crew that's working on this.
Now, this is a joint venture between you and Los Gatos Christian. How is it, you know, how is it for you collaborating with another group like that?
It's interesting. It's meeting new people. It's a fun event. It's been a little difficult for me to contact people. Like I said, you know, getting in touch with people after hours is really kind of hard to do, but we're trying our best. We're doing our, you know, our darndest we're putting out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
David, I want to, you know, one thing is, what's your role as far as promoting Odessy 2 along with your responsibilities at KICU?
Well, I should clarify that the gentleman who really is responsible for the success last year of Odessy, and certainly to this point this year, and will follow through with it, is Michael Sawicki, who is a local promoter and involved in a lot of different community events, and he's been charged again this year with the responsibility of the success of Odessy 2, and I know it's been a real challenge for him. He's been running wildly for the last few weeks as we get closer to the event, trying to make sure everything has been taken care of and doing a superb job. Michael approached us back in the summertime about our involvement from KICU to really be the presenter, if you will, of the event in harmony with other radio stations. So the credit really has to go to Mr. Sawicki and the people who really own the event, if you will, Service America, who put on various functions throughout the year and are involved in a number of different businesses as well as this. They're really the supporting funding group for the event. And then certainly on the local level, Michael, and KICU's involvement is to, again, work in harmony with the radio stations to promote the event, we run commercials currently on KICU about the event, we promote ticket sales, and we will be there broadcasting from there. So that is really our role, in addition to emceeing during the evening on the various stages, and I will be there along with a number of other people from Channel 36 and the on-air personalities from the various radio stations, and maybe I could give them just a quick plug, if that's okay. And again, I'm going to apologize for referring to some notes, but I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out.
Okay.
Double 99 is involved with us. KBRG, we're pleased to have them involved. KLOK, K-Bay Radio, KOME as well. And KDBK is involved in it, and let me see, I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think that's it from the South Bay area. And these radio stations have also lent their support right down to the radio commercials that people hear right now on, throughout the Bay Area, on South Bay Area, on their radio stations. Were produced over at KOME, so we have to really thank all the various individual radio stations that have given so much of their time and effort to get the word out on this event. So it's really a combined effort from a lot of different groups.
Okay. I want to get more in the event in the second half of the show.
Sure.
I want to know exactly when people walk in to Odessy 2, when they walk into the New Year's Eve party over at Bethel, what they can have to expect. You know, because I think that's important to a lot of people when they decide what they're going to do. Barb, what I asked you too is that naturally you don't have all the sponsors and people behind it for your event that David does. But what are some, you know, how is it that you're able to get a band in there and get some entertainment? Apparently you're going to have a comedian. There's going to be lots of entertainment going on. What is, you know, who's behind this, you know, for you?
The support is coming from both Bethel Church and I believe part of the sponsorship is from Los Gatos Christian also.
Okay.
So it's pretty much self-funded. We're funding this with our stores of money from the previous year and that sort of thing.
Okay. What can people expect to pay for your event? When
it'll be $10 in advance before the 23rd of December, and after the 23rd it'll be $12, and that includes at the door. So we welcome people at the door.
Okay. David, what can people expect to pay when they come?
No question, Barbara's got the deal of the evening for when it comes to ticket prices. So if you're on a budget, you've got a couple of choices now. That's the good news. $40 in advance for Odessy 2 and $50 at the door. Our tickets are being sold through Bass, and there is a phone number for people if they'd like to reserve, and we are recommending that. Tickets have been on sale, I think, for about the last month. The Mercury newspaper last year called it, the quote that we've been using in our advertising is "Powerful Party Sizzles the City," which we thought was a pretty good way to describe what happened last year. So in that respect, the tickets are being sold in advance. And we invite people out there to guarantee that they do get a pair early. And we've got a phone number. It's actually the tickets are being distributed through Bass Ticket Outlets. And that phone number is area code 408 here, 998-BASS. And they can also answer further information from people when they reserve their tickets. I'm not sure, can people get, they are getting tickets in advance for your event as well.
Yes,
So.
they can.
Where can they, what number would they call, Barb, if they want to get tickets?
They would call 246-6790 Bethel Church and ask for the Single Life Ministry office.
Okay. This is put on by Single Life Ministries?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're a single group and one of the largest in the South Bay area.
Okay. Can you be married and come to your event?
Yeah, you can be married and come to our event. That wouldn't be frowned on, but single people like to meet other single people, and this is an opportunity to do so.
That's one thing that's a little different about one reason why I was interested in having these two groups on. There's some people that prefer not to be in an alcoholic, not alcoholic, but a place where they serve alcohol. Some people, prefer anything, so it's, and I think you're getting that in both worlds here. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be with Barb and David with some more questions about their particular events. Before we break, I want to thank California Mortgage for sponsoring this once again. Please give me a call at California Mortgage at 524-1097 if you have any questions with regards to refinancing, purchases. If you got a question, please call me. We'll take it from there. We'll see you just in a little bit here. 90's got Mason Sturgill as always with me, as well as Barb Schexnayder and David Wolfe with us. I smelled something real nice. It must be my cologne. Or anyway, we wanted you to plug these two groups. We got Barbara representing Bethel Church and Los Gatos Christian, a big Christian event, and David with the Odessy 2. I believe you got some questions, Mason.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what exactly, if on New Year's Eve, what time does the party start, and is it at the church?
Yes, it will be at the church. It'll be at Bethel Church. The address is 1207 South Winchester Boulevard in San Jose.
Okay.
And we have a real large gymnasium that we convert into all kinds of event use. We have walls that move and stuff, so we'll be using that.
Okay, will there be dancing and all that kind of stuff, or?
Well, the Assembly of God Church doesn't promote dancing, but we do have mingling. We will be meeting people. We'll have a game to associate people with each other. So, yeah, that kind of thing.
All right. And now the name of you already said it once, so why should I? But what's the name of the band?
Undivided.
And they're from Nevada?
Yeah, they are from
Reno.
Sparks, Nevada.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how about you, Dave? Who are some of the bands?
Got the list right here. At last confirmation, all subject to, of course, more entertainment being booked at any moment, but we have Zazu Pits, which I believe is also the band for the Warriors, the official band. When I was at a Warriors game, I saw them performing up on a roof somewhere. So, the Bump Rock Dance Party, big band music. Johnny Barron and the Bel Airs will be there again this year, and Deb Sardi and Terry Suma and the Suma Orchestra as well. Our headlining group, Tower of Power, which seems to get a lot of attention every time we mention their name. I'm sure that they're going to be a big draw for us. Rob Hanna does a salute to Rod Stewart. And looks like Rod, sounds like Rod. It is Rod, almost. He'll be there. Lydia Pence as well in Cold Blood. And I think I got everybody. So once again, we have 5 ballrooms, 7 entertainment acts throughout the evening. And I should also mention that the March of Dimes are a charity tied in with the event. And there is money that goes to them as well from the admittance area, coat check type of thing, that situation. So they are benefactors of the evening as well, which we're really pleased to tie in with.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, it's inevitable in an event like that too that with as much activity going on, people with the celebration as it is, they might. If there's drinking going on, I know that they have transportation. Do you mind going into that? I know some people really take advantage of transit, county transit.
And we recommend that for the San Jose Convention Center. We've been down there for some meetings already, and I think it's unanimous that light rail is the preferred method of transportation that night for a number of different reasons. One being that alcohol is served there and available. Secondly, from strictly a parking standpoint, it would probably be much more convenient for people to take light transit when they come down than to try and find a space to park their car. That's possible, but it's not necessarily recommended. So we would suggest definitely light rail first.
Maybe, Barbara, if your group's not going to be drinking, you can go down and
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
That'd be great.
That'd be ideal.
We'll provide taxi service.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
So, but there, I should mention also, if I can just toss in real quickly, there are a lot of different things will be going on inside, other than just the entertainment. We do have party favors that have been set up for people. There are various culinary treats that will be available to people as well. And picture taking of your group there, or the couple, or whatever that happens to be. A lot of different people involved in the event, and decorations will be spectacular as they were last year. So it really is a huge event in so many different ways, with just a tremendous amount of people behind the scenes to make it happen.
Now, are y'all, I take it you have to be 21 to get in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, without question.
And it's split. Now, is this the big convention thing downtown?
Yes.
It looks like a giant dome.
That's
or long.
San Jose Convention Center, we like to call it around here.
I gotta get out more often, I guess.
Yeah, it's beautiful down there. You'd love it.
So it's split up into rooms?
That's right.
Okay.
Different rooms have been decorated in different themes, and you can, it's almost like being at 7 different parties throughout the evening. You can move from one to the other freely, and different musical themes obviously going in and during each of the ballrooms while they're active as well. And there'll be music constantly, so if one band takes a break, you can go to another room and be entertained there. And of course, over midnight, they'll all be performing, so it'll be hopping, to put it mildly.
And it's free admission, right?
Almost free admission. It's $40 in advance and $50 at the door.
Oh, that's right, tickets, yeah. Sorry about that.
This is the guy with the good deal in town, ticket-wise.
Mine are close to free. They're only $10 in advance and $12.
With Barb, you know, the $10, it is a kind of a, you know, inexpensive way to spend the evening. You know, I know that there's going to be some entertainment, like a comedian, as well as a band, Undivided. Is there going to be, I know you can't possibly, the $10 fee, have a sit-down dinner or anything like that, but is there going to be any, like, refreshments or knickknacks?
Yeah, what we're serving is an international buffet. We'll have different hors d'oeuvres from all around the world, and we'll be creating those ourselves, so that'll be fun. We're also having punch and serving Coca-Cola, that sort of thing.
Okay. So you're not going to have anybody in there spiking the punch or anything like that? You can expect a real clean evening?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Is there like, now, everybody's probably got their different ways, and I'm going to ask you the same question here, David, but the grand finale of the evening is usually the countdown. Is there any kind of ideas as far as how you're going to handle the countdown, or are you just going to let people do their own thing?
No, we're going to have a balloon drop, and we're hoping to get a Father Time, a man dressed up like Father Time, a little baby running across with the new 1991 banner on.
Now, what's Father Time?
Someone, we don't know who that might be yet.
Oh, okay. But as far as the idea of Father Time, I'm sorry what is Father Time?
Oh, you don't know who Father Time is? He has a white long beard and the old sickle and the white outfit. You ever seen that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the old guy, you know, the old year.
I didn't know his name was Father Time.
Yeah, that was the name.
Okay. So
Hangs out at the convention center, so it works out well.
No.
Same thing?
Actually, I didn't want to jump in there, but I couldn't resist. We have a bunch of surprises that are planned, and I wouldn't want to get in trouble by giving it away on air right now, but certainly for midnight there'll be a lot of different surprises that will all come to fruition at that moment.
Okay.
It'll be spectacular, just like the food.
Now, will that be true on each floor that you can expect? I know there's 5.
In all the ballrooms? Yes. Yeah, there are different, and that's, I guess, one of the nice things about having those many different ballrooms with different themes. You can do different things in all of them. So, and also, if there are people who wanted to stay downtown, the Holiday Inn, the Central Holiday Inn downtown, has put together a package, and that might be convenient for people who don't want to have to go home, especially if they're partying till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Barbara, how long do you expect your New Year's party going on? Is there a deadline on that? Or?
Yeah, we do need to close the place up, but about 1:30 in the evening, morning.
Okay. What other, I know there must be some corporate things going on. You know, if somebody had a corporation, they were interested in a corporate room, do you have those already booked up?
Right. There is a special phone number for group sales or corporate sales, and I'll give you that number as well. They can find out more information by calling 1-800-356-0311, or in the 415 area code, if you're watching, 331-0365. I'll give you those numbers again real quickly. 800-356-0311 or 415-331-0365. And that is for information on group sales if there were 10 or 12 people from your company who'd like to drop by. And we've had some calls. AT&T called and wanted to send a group over, so there is a special arrangement set up for that.
Okay.
And Coca-Cola, you had mentioned Coke earlier, they're also going to be at our event. They're going to be all over the place, I guess, New Year's Eve. And Budweiser is one of our sponsors as well.
Now, what I wanted to do is ask you guys kind of what got you into, this is like not about the event, but you know, what got you into, or what made you decide to put together
A knock on my door. My pastor asked me if I'd be interested in helping promote this, and I said yes.
Now, in the past, did you experience it, did you, like you've been a Christian for a long time, I take it, right?
Yeah.
And is that something that was a pain to you, is not having a place to go where you didn't have to get loaded or get picked up on?
Yeah. And singleness has been an issue too. I just see that there's so many lonely people out there. There's so many people who spend time by their TV set on a night like this. And I know there's been so many New Year's Eves that have gone by for me, and I wished I had friends to share those with. And being a Christian, it's hard to find that in a worldly environment, you know. It's hard to find people that you can communicate with, people you can feel comfortable with. And I found that. I found that at Bethel Church. And I'd like to welcome as many people that are needy and hungry for that, you know.
Okay, now what got you into it, Dave?
I kind of fell into it because the station was invited to participate in the event, and as promotions and marketing director, along with a couple of other people at our station, Janice Badger, who's worked hard and long on this event, and also Patty Ernstrom, we're all involved in it through KICU television.
Okay. Now, last year's event at the Odessy, I take it that was pretty much without incident. Am I right, as far as no problems with
as far as
fights and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, it went very smoothly. Service America are very experienced in holding these types of events, and there certainly, to our knowledge, was adequate security, and all we heard about were the great times that people had. And so those same security elements have been put in place for this year, or beefed up, and we hope to have just as great a time this year, if not better.
All right.
One thing is I've had the opportunity to participate in Odyssey 1 last year. I've also had the opportunity